Welcome to our masterclass channel. So in this lecture, we will learn to classification of signals. So here, as I said, signal is defined as a function of one or more independent variables. Look at this function, a function of x comma y comma z. So these are all the variables. So these variables we call it as independent variables. So signal is defined as a function of one or more independent variables. Suppose if a signal is depend upon one independent variable, we call it as one-dimensional. If it is depend upon two, we call it as image signals. Now, in this function, look at these signals x of t. So here, our signal is depend upon only one independent variable, that is what time. So this is what we call it as signals. For example, time x of t. So if we consider frequency x of f, temperature, pressure, and major error signals. So previous video we'll learn more about the signals, and also we'll learn about the discuss about the signals and system. So in this video we're going to discuss about classification of signals. Okay, so how the signal can be classified. So based upon the time, our signal can be classified into two types. One is discrete time signals and another one is continuous time signals. So here in this lecture we will learn about these classifications. So here continuous time signals. So continuous time signals means a signals it will take place anywhere. Okay, for every value of time a signal will be takes place here. That is what continuous time signal. So look at this statement. Continuous time signals are defined as continuance of values of the independent variables. That is, the independent variables here continuous. So it will always be treated as a function of t. So the parentheses are used to denote the continuous time function. For example, x of t. Use the parentheses. Okay, inside the parenthesis only you put your independent variable term. Okay, x of t. This independent variable t is a real value signals or continuous signals. Okay. Next we move on to discrete time signals. So discrete time signals are only defined as discrete times. Here the independent variable takes on only a discrete set of values. So it will be treated as a function of n. Use the square bracket. For example, x of square bracket of n. Okay. So inside the square bracket only you put your independent variables. So here our value n is an integer value. For example, the speed signal as a function of time and atmospheric pressure as a function of altitude. Or these are the example for continuous time signals. The daily closing the stock market index is the best example for discrete time signals. You know that because discrete time means the signal it takes place only at the particular time or particular instant of time. Look at this diagram. This is continuous time. This is discrete time. So here continuous time, for every value of time, the signal will be present here. At t equal to 0, there will be signal. At t equal to 1, there will be signal. At t equal to 0.5, there will be signal. So in between these two time periods, there is also the signals. Okay, so the signals are everywhere, depend upon the time. Okay, so the amplitude is continuous. Right. When you consider the ECG signal, here at n equal to 0, the signal is present, that is x of 0. When n equal to 1, the signal is present, that is x of 1. When n equal to 2, the signal is present, x of 2. But in between these two samples, there is no signals because the signal is absent here. So a signal is only found at particular instant, a particular time period. That is what we call it as discrete time signal. Now I hope I should know about the signal continuous time, what is continuous time and what is discrete time. Okay, look at this example. This is the continuous time signal. Okay, the signal will be continuous based upon your time. But here you use the parenthesis. Okay, discrete time measurements use the square bracket. Okay, so t equal to g, n equal to 0, n equal to 1, n equal to 2. But in between these two samples, there is no signal. So this is a discrete time signal x of n. Okay, so continuous time signals and continuous time system. So having the strong root in the problems associated with physics and more recently with electric circuits and communications. So where and all you could see the continuous time signals and continuous time system means. So these are the area. Okay, problems which are associated with physics and electrical circuits and communication. So next, the discrete time signals and system have a strong roots in numerical analysis. Where you see in the discrete time signal, numerical analysis problem, statistics and time series analysis. Yeah, I will give the stock market. So these are the discrete time signals. Okay, I'll give one more history here. The past decades, there has been a growing interrelationship between continuous time signals and system, discrete time signals and system. Now, this has comes from dramatic advances in technology for implementation of system and for generation of signals. For example, it is increasing advantages to consider processing the continuous time signal by representing them with time samples. Okay, so this lecture definitely it will develop the concept of CT signals and DT signal, that is continuous time signal and system and discrete time signal system in parallel. Okay, so the concept is may similar, but treating them in parallel. Insight and intuition can be shared and both similarities and difference between them become better focused in this our lecture. Okay, so next, periodic and aperiodic signal or non-periodic signal. Okay, so what is periodic? When the signal is said to be periodic? A signal is said to be periodic if it repeats at regular interval. If it repeats at regular, the same signal, it will be repeated after certain regular interval. So look at this diagram. This is first signal. The same signal will be repeated, okay, at regular interval here at 1t, 2t, like this. Non-periodic means it do not repeat at a regular interval of time period. Okay. So here the condition for periodic signal is x of t, which is equal to x of t plus capital T. So this is the, if any signal is satisfied this condition, we call it as periodic signal. So for continuous time. Okay, suppose if you want to find out the discrete time signal, whether the signal is said to be periodic or not. Yeah, if the signal is depend upon this condition, if it satisfies this condition, x of n equal to x of n plus n. Okay, it means it's never changed by time shift of n. Okay, unchanged by a time shift of n. N is the fundamental time period. Okay, t is the fundamental time period. Okay, next thing is we go for even and odd signal. Okay, even and odd signal. So previous thing I should give some example for periodic and non-periodic signal. For example, consider now you are a student. Some students are staying in hostels and some students are staying at their home, personal home. So just take the example that is food menu of your food. Okay, so hostel menu is consider, for example, if you consider first week, okay, 1 week, that is your 1 week is your time period, complete time period. Okay, 1t. So from Monday to Friday, this is your complete time cycle. For example, let us take Sunday to or Sunday to Monday. Sorry, Monday to Sunday. First thing is, and Monday hostel food. Monday the main dishes, the menu for Monday food is suppose idli. Tuesday they prepare dosa. Wednesday they prepare buri. Thursday they prepare chapati. Friday they prepare khichdi. The same menu definitely it will repeat next week and the next week. Okay, but we never expect the same menu will be followed in our home because our mom prepared first week of Monday idli means, so next week we never expect the same idli will be prepared here. Okay, the menu will be changed. So this is the difference. What is periodic and aperiodic? Okay, the same signal it will repeat after regular interval. That is what we call it as periodic signal. Next, even and odd. So how you check the even and odd part of the signal? So signal is said to be even if the inversion of the time axis. Suppose you are going to invert the time axis. Okay, it does not changes its amplitude of the time axis. So if the inversion of time axis does not changes its amplitude. Okay, these are the condition for even signal or continuous time signal. Okay, x of minus t which is equal to x of t. So here the time should be get inverted, but it never change the amplitude of the signal. Okay, look at this diagram. Here, this area we call it x of t. This portion we call it x of minus t. Okay, but never it changes its amplitude. So because both amplitude is 1, remains constant. Okay, if it satisfies this condition, we call it as even signal. So look at the second one, x of square bracket. Use the square bracket because it is discrete time. So I use the square bracket. Inside the square bracket, I represent n. N is in here integer value. So minus n. So x of minus n which is equal to x of n for discrete time signals. Odd signal. Odd signal means the signal said to be odd signal if the inversion of time axis also get inversion of amplitude of the signals. Okay, so here in left hand side I inverted the time axis. Look at this right hand side. Once I get inverted, what will happen? So amplitude will also get inverted. Okay, look at this diagram. So this is x of t. Okay, this is x of t. This is x of minus t. Okay, so what will happen? Here amplitude is 1 means here the amplitude is changes, get inverted, minus 1. Okay, similarly here x of minus n equal to minus of x of n for discrete time signal. Okay, I'll give one more example. Whiteboard. Okay, here consider x-axis, y-axis. Okay, so condition for x of t. Suppose my signal is like this. Okay, so this area, this portion, it represents x of t. Okay, so what will happen? Second side, x of minus t. I will draw the signal for x of minus t. Okay, now this area it represents x of minus t. Okay, so here the amplitude should be at t equal to 0. Here what? The amplitude is remains constant. Okay, when I get inverted the time axis, it doesn't changes its amplitude of the signals. Okay, another example is x of t same as the x of minus t for even signal. Okay, the same signal I'll draw here. Now, okay, so this area it represents x of t. Okay, now the signal will come in here. Okay, this portion it represents x of minus t, but the inversion of its amplitude. So here it put minus. So x of t which is equal to minus of x of minus t. If you invert the time axis, what will happen? The inversion of the amplitude. Okay. For example, you will consider the odd signal sine 90. So sine 90 will be 1. Okay. Sine of minus 90 minus 1. So sine wave is an odd signal. So example for odd signal is sine wave. Okay. Similarly, for example, for even signal is cosine wave. Cosine wave is even signal. Sine wave is odd signal. So next we move on to next signals. That is energy and power signal. Yeah, energy and power signal. Okay. So energy and power signal. Wait 1 second. I'll use the whiteboard. I'll create this text box. Clear all drawings. Okay. Yeah. Next, we'll go for even signal, even and odd signal. Now we are going to discuss about energy and power signal. Energy and power signal. Okay. How you define the energy signal? So what is the difference between energy and the power signal? Okay. So energy, a signal is to be energy if its total energy is finite and non-zero. That is what energy signal. For example, energy lies between 0 to 0 to infinite. 0 to infinite. Signal size between 0 to infinite. Zero to infinite. So here the energy should lie between 0 to infinite. So if it satisfies this condition, our signal is called energy signals. So signal is said to be energy means if its total energy is finite value and non-zero. Okay. For example, if we consider sine wave. Okay. For example, if we consider the sine wave, so x of t, which is equal to sine omega t, right? X of t which is equal to sine omega t, right? So here energy signals and power signals. So here power is also for power signal, power lies between 0 to infinite. So what is the difference between this energy and power signal? So here energy of the power signal is infinite. Energy of the power signal is infinite. Power of the energy signal is 0. Okay, if you find out the signals, whether it is said to be energy and power signals, totally satisfy these two conditions. Okay, so energy power signal, okay, energy of the power signal is infinite. Suppose if the signal is power, definitely energy should be infinite. When the signal is said to be energy, so our power of the signal is 0. Okay, so this is the difference between energy and power. So once again I repeat. Okay, if you find out the signal, or if you want to check the whether the signal is energy and power means, okay, if it is energy, it means power value should be 0. If it is power, energy should be infinite. Okay, so this is the major difference between energy and the power signal. Okay, next we can have the one more signal, that is deterministic and random signal. So deterministic and random signal. Okay, deterministic and random. signal. Okay, deterministic and random signals. So what is deterministic? A deterministic signals, it can completely represent by mathematical equation at any time. That is what deterministic. So the signal, it should be represented in mathematical representation. Okay, that is what deterministic signal. A signal which cannot be represented by any mathematical equation, we call it as random signal. Okay, for example, deterministic means consider sine wave. Okay, so how you represent the sine wave? So x of t, which is equal to cos t plus omega t, x of n equal to cos of 2 pi fn. So any signal, it is represented in terms of mathematical equation. But random signal, if we consider noise signal, noise generated in any electronic components or any transformer channels or any cables, noise coming from the cables. So this and all we could never represent in mathematical equation. So these are we call it random signals. Okay, I can conclude my topic. Yeah, one more with this slide I end up with this lecture video. So this is a kind of exponential signals. Okay, so this is a continuous time signals. Okay, this one is we call it rising exponential. This one is decaying exponential. So this signal is satisfied for a greater than 0. This one is a less than 0. Okay, so with this I end up with this lecture video. Thank you for watching.